Jake opened his eyes to a smell he could never forget. Rot smoke, and something underneath it, death. Around him, people. Their skin covered in open sores, their eyes completely empty of hope. In that 1 second, Jake understood something that would change him forever. He wasn't home. He wasn't even in his own time. Jake had just been thrown into the Middle Ages, and what he lived through next, he still can't fully explain. But before I take you through everything Jake went through, every single moment that nearly broke him, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Let's get into it. Jake was just like you, an ordinary guy from the 21st century, phone in his pocket, clean water anytime he turned on a tap, a doctor a few minutes away. If he ever got sick, he always thought those things were just normal things every human being on earth deserved, until it happened. He opened his eyes in a village somewhere in Europe, and time itself had rewound to the 13th century. The first thing that hit him was the smell, open sewage running down the middle of the street, piles of waste nobody bothered to clear, and people walking past it like their noses had simply given up. No, Jake thought, this can't be real. But every step he took proved him wrong. Jake figured he needed to find anyone who could explain what was happening. He walked up to a farmer working near a fence and tried to speak, but language was a wall he couldn't climb. It wasn't just a different language. Even the shape of the words coming out of his mouth meant nothing to this man. Jake tried pointing, tried drawing shapes in the dirt with a stick. The farmer looked at him with pure fear and slowly started backing away. And that's when Jake felt it, a loneliness unlike anything he'd ever known, standing surrounded by people. And not one of them could see him, understand him, or help him. A full day passed, and Jake hadn't found a single thing to eat back home. He just opened a fridge. Here, food itself had become a daily war. He saw a whole family sharing one dry piece of bread, the children thin, their stomachs swollen from malnutrition, their eyes staring at him in a way that made him feel responsible for everything wrong in the world. He tried to help, offer them something he was carrying, but everything about him was strange to them. Even his clothes scared them more than they comforted them. Jake stood there, hit by a helplessness he'd never felt before. A man from a time with cures for almost anything, standing powerless in front of a starving child. A few days later, Jake heard crying in the distance, people running, screaming. He got closer and found real bodies lying outside the houses. He asked around and understood from the fear on people's faces. This was the plague, a disease that used to be just a word in a history book, was now a living nightmare, wiping out an entire village in front of him. Nobody knew the real because they said it was punishment from the heavens. They burned people, accused each other of witchcraft. And Jake stood there, knowing the scientific truth, unable to say a single word of it to anyone. Jake wasn't ready to just accept defeat. He told himself there had to be some way, even a small one, to actually help. He noticed an older woman gathering herbs at the edge of the forest. He could tell she was the village's healer. He watched her from a distance. 1 day, 2, 3. Then he got closer, not with words, with action. He watched her try to stop a wounded man's bleeding. And he remembered something from his own life, basic pressure. Keeping a wound clean, he took her hand, and without saying a single word, showed her what he meant. She looked at him and understood, not with her mind, with her eyes. From that day, they started working together, not through language, through gestures, through a shared look. He taught her simple things about hygiene, and she taught him how to survive with almost nothing. For the first time, Jake felt like he wasn't just a burden on these people. He could actually help, even in some small way, against a scale of suffering this massive. But that moment of hope didn't last. People started noticing him. The stranger who spoke a strange language, who looked different, who carried things they had no explanation for. He kept hearing one word repeated and understood from the looks in their eyes. They were saying, which, in a time like this, anything unexplainable was blamed on witchcraft. And every accused, which met the same fate, burned alive. Jake ran like he'd never run before in his life, his heart pounding in a way that terrified him. Every step feeling like it could be his last. He hid in the forest an entire night. No food, no clean water, no safety at all. Every snapping branch sounding like the end. Hiding there, completely alone in the dark, Jake started thinking about his entire life. Everything he used to complain about, everything he used to take completely for granted. Clean water, available food, medicine within reach, even just being able to speak to someone and have them understand him, without fearing he'd be accused of witchcraft. And in that exact moment, Jake realized the real difference wasn't just technology. It was how much value we actually place on life itself, on the small things we live with every single day, without ever really noticing them. What you just heard is only a small part of what Jake went through, and there are a lot more of this story coming in future videos. If this video moved you or made you look at your own life a little differently, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, so you're the first to know what happens next. I know Jake made it back. I know he's sitting somewhere safe right now, but every time he opens a fridge, every time he turns on a tap, and clean water just comes out, every time someone understands him without a single moment of fear, that memory comes right back to him. I'm not going to tell you to appreciate what you have. I'll just say this, maybe just once, actually feel it before it becomes something you walk past without noticing at all. But before I let you go, I want to ask you something. If you were in Jake's place and you open your eyes in a time with no medicine, no clean water, no one who understands your language, where anything different about you could get you accused of witchcraft, what would you do? Do you think you could survive? And maybe are we right now underestimating just how lucky we actually are? Let me know in the comments.